help! Did you know that almost half of the mobs in Minecraft are trying to kill you? There are currently 30 hostile mobs and 2 scary boss mobs. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they live in all 3 dimensions. So if you want to stay alive, it's kind of important to know which mobs spawn where, and what you can do to protect yourself. Welcome to part 3 of my big guide to every single mob in Minecraft. Hostile mobs are mobs that attack players as soon as they are in range, and because there are so many, I have grouped them according to where they live. First we will travel to the overworld, then I will take you into the nether, and at the end we're going to the end. So buckle up, strap in and get ready for some hostile action. Let's start with an absolute Minecraft classic, the iconic creeper. It was the very first hostile mob ever introduced to Minecraft, and like many other mobs it spawns at night or in the dark. No cave would be complete without a contingent of these green cuddle monsters, but unlike other Minecraft nighttime mobs, this one can survive in the daylight, it doesn't burn. When they see you, they get really excited and want to give you a really warm hug, but a shield will usually protect you from the worst of the damage. And then there are the creeper holes. Oh, there was another one. Just like not leaving hanging trees, it's considered good manners to cover up a creeper hole if you caused an explosion. Creepers also have a really short attention span. If they can't see you anymore, they simply forget you're there, so you can just hide behind a tree and then just dash out and whack it. And it's forgotten me again, see? Okay, out, give it another hit, and hide, and it just doesn't remember. And there you go, it's dead. Creepers drop gunpowder, which is useful for rockets and TNT and all sorts of other stuff, so creeper farms are really popular in early game. But to make up for their shoddy memory, creepers can actually climb ladders. And keeping creepers away from your base is really easy, just get yourself a couple of tamed cats, because creepers are scared of them and stay away. Bye bye guys! And if for some reason you think your creeper boom boom isn't strong enough, you can make sure it gets hit by lightning, and then you have a charged creeper, and that gives you a super big bang. And if you have then got a skeleton lying around somewhere in a boat, for instance, and get that skeleton to shoot that charged creeper, it drops a record. Nice, let's party. And here's another fun fact. When Notch first made the creeper, he actually wanted to make a pig, but he got it wrong and the pig was standing upright. He thought it was so funny that he turned it into this green monster. Yeah, that's right, you're actually a pig. The next classic mob is the skeleton. It comes in 3 varieties in the overworld. Depending on the biome, you can find normal skeletons, bogged and strays. There are also special nether skeletons, but we will deal with them in part 2. All skeletons spawn in the dark at night, and they shoot arrows at you. Those arrows hurt and they're really hard to dodge, so the best defense that you have is your shield. Just put up your shield when they shoot at you and then whack them. Skeletons drop bones, bows and arrows, and dark places like caves are full of them. But you're not safe in the sunlight either, because skeletons are smart. As soon as the sun comes out, they start burning, but then they try to find a shady place, like under a tree or under a rock ledge, where they like to lurk and snipe at you. Skeletons also spawn in trial chambers. And they're definitely not my favorite mob to find in there, because these guys shoot you in the back. Oi buddy, behave! Sometimes skeletons also spawn wearing armor, and about 11% of all skeletons are left-handed. 11% is also the estimated percentage of all people in the real world who are left-handed. In swamps and mangrove swamps, skeletons spawn as bogged, so they get a bit moldy and have mushrooms growing on their head. And that apparently doesn't improve their temper, because these guys shoot poison arrows at you. And for that reason, I like them even less when they spawn in the trial chambers. Ugh! Fun fact, if you feel offended by the mushrooms, you can shear them off with shears. For a special dare, you could do that in survival, but I've chosen to do that in creative mode, because I want to finish this video at some stage, and you get free mushrooms. The last type of skeletons are the strays. They spawn in cold and icy biomes where they replace most of the regular skeletons. These cool-looking freeze-dried bone boys are basically the White Walkers of Minecraft. They shoot arrows of slowness at you, but otherwise they're pretty much like all other skeletons. Excuse me sir, why are you trying to muscle in on this part of the video? It's not your turn yet. I'm doing zombies next. But before I do that, let me show you something cool. If you put skeletons into powdered snow, they actually convert into strays. There, a DIY ice mummy. Okay, maybe we've left the moany-groany guys waiting long enough, so here they are, the zombies. There are 3 types, the ordinary zombie, the husk, and the zombie villager. Zombies spawn everywhere where it's dark, like in caves for instance, and at night time, so remember, light up your base or you'll have green visitors. Zombies usually spawn in mobs, but they're actually quite easy to kill if you've got good gear, and they drop rotten flesh and a few other goodies, like for instance iron. Sometimes they also spawn with armor and with weapons. Just not this guy. Oh look, iron! That's a rare drop. And I've put some zombies in a pit to show you what happens when the sunlight hits them. Yes, they burn. Some zombies can pick up items, so if you want to keep your zombies alive during the daytime, throw them a cap and see if they wear it. If they wear a hat, they stay safe. It protects them from the sun. You can also find zombie spawners underground and in trial chambers. Oh, and did I mention the children? Yes, they actually have zombie children and they run super fast. They are probably one of the scariest Minecraft mobs ever because they look so cute and they are totally deadly. And in some of the trial chambers, you actually find zombie spawners that only spawn babies. Look at this little rascal. Absolutely no manners. Another thing zombies like to do for their personal entertainment is visit villages in the middle of the night. They make house calls to the villagers and try to convert them to their cause. They don't even wait to be invited, they just open the door and waltz right in. Their aggressive canvassing strategies for Team Z can sometimes lead to the death of the villager, but occasionally one of them gets converted, like this guy. Yeah, he's joined the army of the green guys. And now this cowardly traitor is helping his new brethren target his former neighbors and friends. Shocking! Uh-oh, but here comes the security guard. Will he be able to catch up with them and try and sort them out? Well, let's see. It seems he's kind of big and lumbersome and doesn't walk all that fast, so for the moment he's just keeping an eye on this conga line of doom. Oh, he's getting closer, and okay, yeah, that's one of them gone, and oh no, he's lost sight of them. Will they get away? The zombie villagers has also picked up the mortal remains of one of his comrades. Is he gonna bury his brother or is he gonna eat him? We have so many questions, but it looks like this village is doomed. Oh dear. For unknown reasons, zombies have also got a severe hatred of baby turtles and of turtle eggs. Mojang has never properly explained why they have to destroy these things. There's another variety of zombies that lives in the desert. They're called husks, and they basically look like extras from the mummy movies. Mummies like the scary guys with the bandages, not like your ma. Oh, and by the way, when these guys touch you, they give you the hunger effect. Here's another zombie villager for you. You've already seen how villagers can get infected by zombies. But zombie villagers can also spawn randomly, just in the night like all other nighttime mobs. But did you know that you can cure zombie villagers? Splash them with potion of weakness and then give them a golden apple and that will cure them. They start shaking and shivering like crazy. It's getting all the badness out of them and it takes quite a while. But eventually they'll turn back into a regular villager and they'll be super grateful and give you extra good trades. The next group I want to introduce you to are the Illagers. They're kind of a bunch of head-banging bad boys who roam around your Minecraft server and create merry mayhem. They normally turn out in gangs, and there are Pillagers, Vindicators, Evokers, Vex, and Ravagers. These original crime lords of Minecraft have their own clubhouses, and they even have headquarters. Let's start with the Pillagers. They're the Illager foot soldiers. The woodland mansions are kind of their barracks. They also have pillager outposts all over your server, and they keep golems and allays captive there. So if you want to find some treasure and go for a rescue mission, remember to take your shield, because these guys have got crossbows. Patrol parties can also spawn spontaneously if you stay in an area long enough. If they see you, they will try to attack you. Every party has also got a captain. That's the guy with a banner on his head. But this captain is clearly not a good leader. First he leads his troops into the water where they can be easily picked off, and now he's trying to make a getaway and leave his boys to fight it out. But not with me, buddy, not with me. Gotcha. And when they die, they drop a bottle of ominous potion and the banner. If you drink this potion, it gives you the bad omen effect. And if you go into a village with a bad omen, it starts a raid. Raiding parties will come to your village in several waves and attack the village. They will try to kill the poor villagers. You can stand proud and defend your people and eventually gain the title of Hero of the Village. If you are successful, you will become the villager's best friend and they will give you extra cheap trades. But the pillagers bring all sorts of support staff and defending a village is not easy. If the pillagers manage to kill every villager, they have a celebration. They throw their arms in the air and have a happy little dance. Whoopee! Vindicators are the highly trained assault soldiers of the Illager army. When they see a player, they sprint towards you and try to hit you hard with their super duper battle axes, which sadly doesn't always end well for the player. Oopsie! But here's a neat trick for you. If you ring a bell, all nearby Illagers get a glow effect for 3 seconds. And if you know where they are, you can shoot them from a safe distance. So this guy is now officially dead. And he dropped an emerald. Yippee! And here is my least favorite Illager, the Evoker, or the Mumble guy as I call him. Let's see if I can sneak up on this guy. Because as soon as he notices me, he will throw his arms up in the air and cast spells. He's an evil magician who can call vexes on you. They're little evil demons who attack you. These ones, and I'll talk about them later. And he can also summon fangs, which also hurt you a lot. The badness only stops when you kill this guy. But even with good armor, it's difficult to get close to him. Oops, we're both dead. But you don't just want to kill these guys because they're a major nuisance. They also drop totems of undying, and they are super useful. The evil sprites that the Evoker calls are called Vex. They are the nasty cousins of the friendly blue allay. When they are summoned, they fly through the air with their wicked little swords and attack villagers and players. They're fast, mobile, and sneaky. They follow you everywhere. They even try to attack you from behind and go through walls. So I'm definitely not safe in this house. I don't even know why I went in there. You can try to block them with your shield and hit them with your sword, or even shoot them, but they're really hard to hit, and if you're not good at PvP like me, that's really difficult. And then if the Evoker starts throwing other stuff like the fangs at you, this happens. So it's good to know that Vexes despawn after a maximum of 2 minutes, sometimes earlier. And every time the Evoker sees you again, he will call in more of these little blighters. So here's a neat trick. Sometimes it helps to put a few boats down. The Vexes get caught in the boats and then you can just hit them to your heart's content. Because only a dead Vex is a good Vex. And they don't even drop anything. And here is the other favorite pet of the Illagers, the Ravager. This grumpy super cow spawns in raids and can sometimes be ridden by a pillager. As soon as they see a player, they will charge at you and they will attack you in a number of ways. They will ram you, they will bite you, they will throw you with their horns. And they have a lot of reach, so they're really dangerous. But luckily, you can block them with your shield and that stuns them for a moment and gives you a good opportunity to whack them. So although they are big and scary, they are not impossible to kill. If you've got good gear, you can manage it. Okay. We've done it! An even safer way to defeat a Ravager is to attack them in the water. Just lure them in the water, they will drift on the top and you can just safely attack them from underneath. Just keep a good distance. There, that was easy and no damage to me. Another mob that occasionally comes on raids is a witch. But witches are not Illagers. They occasionally spawn randomly as part of the nighttime mobs. But most commonly, witches spawn in witches' huts in any kind of swamp. Here is a typical witch in their hut, and I think they have spotted me. Witches attack players by throwing a variety of harmful potions at you. Oi you, stop that, that hurts! I better drink some milk quickly to take the effects away. Okay, I'm healed again, and now I'm gonna shoot this person, because I'm not gonna put up with any of this nonsense. Before they died they hit me again, I need more milk. Okay, fine, so let's go and see what they dropped. Witches drop all sorts of useful stuff which makes witch farms really popular. This one dropped redstone and a glass bottle. Nice! By the way, black cats also spawn at witches' hats, and I can only apologize to this pussy cat for killing its owner. Sorry! While we're here in the swamp, let's have a quick look at slimes. Slimes are bouncy green cubes that spawn in this biome and in slime chunks underground. Their spawn rates depend on the moon phases, so at full moon you get the most slimes, and when there's a new moon, no slimes spawn at all. But they don't die during the daytime, they stay alive. These boinky fellas come in 3 sizes. You've already seen the small ones, this is the medium size, and I'll show you the big ones now. There, that's the papa slime, and as you can see, it's much bigger than a creeper. In fact, they're just over 2 blocks tall. Slimes attack you by slowly jumping towards you and bouncing on top of you, and that hurts a little bit. When you hit a big slime, it breaks into medium-sized slimes, and when you hit them, well, you guess it, they will break into small slimes. These guys are almost too cute to hit, but they will still hurt you. And when you kill the baby slimes, they turn into slime balls, which you can turn into slime blocks, and that's really useful. And now this zombie wants to get involved in the slime hunt. Go away, I'm hunting slime. You can also find slime spawners in some trial chambers, and they spawn medium-sized slimes. They're really not the worst mob that you can find in a trial chamber, but when you start hitting them and they all turn into baby slimes, it can get pretty hectic. And very, very bouncy. I actually really like slimes. And do you know who else likes slimes? Yes, frogs like slimes. They like to eat the baby ones. And they spit out the slime balls. Thanks, guys. Fantastic. Free gummy sweeties for me. And here is another nighttime mob for you, the Phantom. These squeaky flappy birds come to haunt you if you haven't slept in a bed for 3 or more nights. Several phantoms spawn at the same time, so it's a little bit difficult to keep track of them. Sometimes the easiest way to defeat them is to trap them in a boat, and then you can kill them easily. When phantoms die, they drop phantom membrane, which you can use to repair your elytra. But if you think that by running into the water and hiding under the waves you can protect yourself from the phantoms, think again, because phantoms can fly underwater as well as they can fly in the air. You're really only safe from them when you're somewhere inside or underground. So remember, get a bed and sleep regularly. It's good for your health, honestly. The next mob that spawns at night and was only recently added to Minecraft lives here in the Pale Forest. It is the Creaking. This pale twig monster comes out to play when the sun goes down, and as long as you look at it, it doesn't move. But the moment you turn your back on it, it chases you. And it can run faster than a player, so I'm gonna keep looking at you, buddy. Creakings spawn from special wood blocks that are hidden inside the pale oaks. They're called Creaking hearts. You can't actually kill Creakings, but if you hit them, a sparkle trail will show you where their Creaking heart is hidden, and every time you hit them, it generates some resin. The resin can be easily harvested with an axe, just scrape it off. If you want to unalive a Creaking, all you have to do is chop out the Creaking heart. But remember, you're not the only one in the nighttime forest, so this skeleton just unalived me while I was unaliving the Creaking. Oh dear. If you want to harvest the resin in a safer place than the forest, or simply play a prank on your friends, just place a Creaking heart between 2 pale oak logs and it'll spawn a Creaking at night. You can do this anywhere, it doesn't matter which biome. You've seen me catch a few mobs in boats, but this is what happens when you try to put a Creaking in a boat. Yep, it just walks right over the boat. It simply doesn't fit. But you can trap a Creaking in a too deep hole, and then it can't get out. And you can whack it all night long and produce resin. Creakings are also moved by water, which can be quite handy for an emergency getaway. And here's another fun fact about Creakings. Pillagers are totally scared of the Twigmen. This pillager would love to shoot me, but seeing my creaky friend, he just doesn't know what to do. See you later, Mr. P. The Breeze is another relatively new and slightly weird mob. It only spawns in trial chambers from special trial spawners. It jumps all over the place crazily and shoots wind charges at you. These wind charges have massive knockback, so on top of the damage from getting hit, you also have a lot of fall damage. Use your shield to deflect the wind charge and try to get really close. If you can corner them and get really close, they stop fighting and then you can kill them. And then they drop breeze rods. By the way, be careful in the trial chambers. The wind charges can also interact with buttons, doors, bells, and any other mechanical devices. So you may suddenly have a trapdoor open underneath your feet, or a dispenser shooting nasty stuff at you. After all this breezy excitement, let's check this place out and see who lives here. This is an ocean monument where you find guardians and elder guardians. Yes, Mr. Spiky Fish, we're talking about you. Guardians spawn in and around ocean monuments in large quantities, and they're massively annoying. they can attack you with their laser beams from quite a long distance. And they have a natural defense similar to the Thorns enchantment, so if you whack them, you actually get hurt yourself. Oh dear, this is not gonna end well for me. I should have drunk a potion of invisibility, because then they can't see you and they don't attack. Guardians also like to use squid and axolotl for target practice, which is bad for the squid, but good for you, because you can always pick up some free ink sacs as you go past. When you kill a guardian, it drops prismarine shards, prismarine crystals, and fish. Hang on, where did the drops go? Oh, they're right in my inventory, so I'm gonna just chuck them out here so you can have a look at them. The boss of the Guardians is called the Elder Guardian. It's much bigger and it lives in 3 chambers. This one here at the top, there it is. And then there are usually 2 more, one in each side wing. So let's go and have a look. So, is there one in here? Right, going in, and yes, there it is. Hello. Oh my god, look at those bloodshot eyes. He's not looking happy. Thank God, I'm in spectator mode, so you can't see me. Let's check out the other side. Okay, going, gone. Where is it? Oh, there, right here. Yeah, they are really big. You can see them next to the blocks. They are actually the largest aquatic mobs in Minecraft. So, I'm gonna go in. Thankfully, I made this hole earlier because this monster has given me mining fatigue, and that means I cannot mine blocks, or I can, but very, very slowly. See, nothing's happening. This is super annoying. So I'm just gonna take the small hole and go in, and I'm in survival and I'm getting attacked straight away, and also it's got thorns. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna die here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, take water breathing potion. That helps, but yeah, this is not gonna help me, is it? I'm kind of cornered. Okay, dead. I brought an Elder Guardian out here into the open, where you can see what happens when it dies. It drops prismarine, but it also drops a sponge. Weirdly, Elder Guardians and Guardians don't actually need water to survive. They're quite happy on dry land. And when I say happy, I mean they flap about in a funny way and look a little bit distressed, but they don't die. Right, after our underwater adventure, we deserve a little break with a small mob that's more annoying than dangerous, the Silverfish. These little ankle biters live in infested stone or deep slate and come out when you break the blocks. There's always a silverfish spawner in the stronghold where the end portal is. But luckily they're quite easy to kill, and if you have Bane of Arthropods on your sword, they're even easier to get rid of. Since they don't drop anything when they die, most people just break the spawner, and that's the end of that. You also find some spawners for silverfish in trial chambers, and if that's all you've got to worry about is enemies in the trial chambers, then you're really quite lucky, because yeah, it's definitely not hard to kill them. So, after a break with those harmless critters, are you ready for some super scary stuff? Because the next mob is practically a boss mob. We are going to an ancient city in the deep dark to meet the Warden. You have to be very quiet here because any noise sets off the sensors, and the sensors set off the Shrieker. And if the Shrieker goes off 3 times, the Warden emerges. So you have to sneak or block the noise with wool. Even breaking blocks and removing those skulk sensors makes a noise. So you've got to be super careful. But I'm gonna trigger these skulk sensors a 3rd time for you so you can see what happens. There he is, the mighty Warden has emerged. This giant monster has got 500 hit points and it can run as fast as you. It is completely blind, but it can hear you. Oh my god, this guy is really angry. And he can sniff you out. I'm gonna disappear into my bolt hole and see if I can get rid of him. Oh no, the door is too small for him. But he's not gonna go away, because he can smell me. Yes, he can smell me right through the stones, and he's gonna try and attack me with his mighty sonic boom. Ouchie, that hurt a lot. I'm half dead. You have to stand at least 20 blocks away. Okay, that was not 20 blocks. I've just popped my totem. Oh no! Yeah, basically this is a one-shot killing machine. So now I have dug the tunnel a bit further and he can't hear or smell me anymore. And if he doesn't get angered for 60 seconds, his heart rate will slow down, he will begin to chill out and then disappear back into the ground until he gets annoyed again. It should happen any minute now, and while we wait and watch, there's a ton of stuff to know about the ancient cities and how to conquer them. But in this video, I'll just give you an overview of all the mobs that there are. Check out my playlist for more specific mob videos. There he goes, bye bye! And that was the last hostile overworld mob. It's time to go to the Nether! The Nether is full of hostile things that want to kill you, but there are actually only 7 mobs that are fully hostile. There are blazes, wither skeletons, piglin brutes, hoglins, zoglins, magma cubes and ghasts, and they all pack quite a punch. And then there are some neutral mobs that can also attack you if you do the wrong thing. Luckily, many of them live in specific places or biomes, like these blazes that live in nether fortresses. They generate from special blaze spawners on these platforms, and that's the only place you can find them. Blazes float about and shoot you with volleys of 3 fireballs when they see you, and you cannot deflect these fireballs with your shield, so always bring plenty of food and fire resistance potion. When they get close to you, they can also do a melee attack on you with their spinning rods. Luckily, you can attack them from a distance with arrows and with snowballs. Yes, snowballs, they're allergic to them. And here is the reason why you would want to tackle such a dangerous mob. They're the only source of blaze rods. Blazes are also allergic to water, it kills them. But I'm struggling to think of a situation where a blaze would actually be near water, because you can't have water in the Nether, so you'd have to actually take it to the overworld to kill it there with water. I can't think of any good reason why anybody would want to do that. If you have an idea, tell me. The other mob you can find in the Nether fortress is the wither skeleton. These tall black super skellies are extra strong. They have a sword and they patrol the gangways and corridors of the fortress. As soon as they see you, they try to attack you. This guy is obviously not smart enough to walk past the piglin, but now he's managed and he's coming for me. And when they hit you, you don't just take damage, you also get the wither effect. Let me show you a safe and easy way to fight wither skeletons. They are over 2 blocks tall, so all you have to do is block off the passage like this. You can walk under it, but they can't. Now watch this. Hello boys, hello, I'm over here. Come on boys, get me! And of course they can't, they can just stand there and stare at me, but I can hit them with impunity. Oh man, this is almost unfair, this is too easy. A lot of people jokingly call them coal boys because they sometimes drop coal. Although if this is your main source of coal, then you're definitely not playing Minecraft right. I've spawned in a few more of these boys to show you what else they drop. They give you bones, swords, coal, and sometimes when you're lucky, they drop their heads. And that, my friends, is the real reason why you want to fight these guys. You can equip the wither head in your helmet slot and wear it on your head, and that's always a bit of fun. But the real reason you want this is to create a boss mob called the Wither, and I'll tell you about that scary mob at the end of the video. Let's go to a Bastion Remnant next and meet the Piglin Brute. This axe-wielding maniac guards the treasures in the Bastion. They are seriously strong and they have absolutely no sense of humor. As soon as they see you, they try to attack you. You can't argue with them, you can't barter with them, and they don't even drop anything useful. They're just there to protect the treasures. But unfortunately, bastions are the only place where you can find the templates that allow you to upgrade your diamond armor to netherite armor. And to make your life even harder, you also find hoglins in those bastion remnants. But the place that is really crawling with these horror pigs is the Crimson Forest. Hoglins are built like tanks, and they come for you when they see you. They try to fling you up in the air with their powerful tusks, and your shield is absolutely useless against them. And if there are any other pigs nearby, they join in the fight and gang up on you. Luckily, this pig was alone, so I managed to survive, even though I fell into a hole. And they drop leather and pork chops, which is good when you want to survive in the Nether. You can also come across baby hoglins in the wild, and they also want to kill you, but here's a good trick. Hoglins absolutely hate the stinky green mushrooms, so I never go to the Nether without a couple of warped mushrooms in my pocket. And talking about mushrooms, did you know that you can actually breed hoglins with the crimson mushrooms? But I would definitely not recommend doing this in survival because first of all, the world doesn't need any more murder pigs, and secondly, these guys would prefer to make war than love, so you will probably die trying. Also, this is probably one of the ugliest babies in Minecraft. If Hoglins come into the overworld, they turn into Zoglins, which does not improve their mood. They are literally one of the grumpiest mobs you've ever met. They will attack absolutely anything that doesn't run away fast enough. You would think that blood is thicker than water, but these anger machines will even attack their overworld cousins. Bad pig, very bad pig. Another mob that you can find in the bastions is the Magma Cubes. They have spawners in the treasure rooms, but more frequently you find these hot bouncy cubes in basalt deltas. As you see, these guys are completely immune to fire damage. They can happily bounce about in lava and on magma cubes. In most other respects, they're very similar to the slime cubes. They come in 3 sizes. When you whack them, they break up into the next smaller size, and they attack you by playfully jumping on your head. Like slimes, they're more annoying than really scary, and when you kill the tiny ones, they drop magma cream, which is an ingredient that you use for making fire resistance potion. And like mini slimes, frogs consider the little magma cubes a special delicacy. But when they eat them, they get a bit of a sore stomach and they spit out a frog light. At least, I think that's how it works. Spicy food, you know. The last of our hostile nether mobs is this large, floaty, ghost-like balloon. It is 4x4 blocks tall, looks super cute, makes funny cat noises, and shoots deadly fireballs at you. Yeah, appearances can be deceiving. This guy spawns in the nether wastes and in basalt deltas. Put together the knockback, the hit points, and the actual burning to a crisp, it's actually quite easy to get yeeted by these guys. But if you're one of those players with actually good fine motor skills, you can sometimes bat back one of the fireballs. Like that, I did it. Oops, and this time I didn't. I'm actually not very good at this. I'm quickly gonna hop into creative and spawn one for you because it's easier to see what they drop when it's close up. And yes, their death noise is horrible. So they drop Ghast tears. And that's us done here. Let's move to the next dimension, the end. There are only 3 actual hostile mobs in this dimension. The Ender Dragon is considered a boss mob, so we'll talk about it in the last part of this video. There are also the tiny Endermites and the super weird but extremely useful Shulkers. And if you're wondering why I'm not mentioning Endermen, they are actually a neutral mob. They only attack you when they're aggravated, so they don't count as hostile. Let's start with something really small, the Endermite. When you throw an ender pearl, there is a 5% chance that it might generate an Endermite. This purple little pest has the smallest hitbox of any of the mobs. They follow you around and try to nibble at your toes. If you don't name tag them, they just despawn by themselves after about 2 minutes. They're a popular prank mob, but they don't drop anything when you kill them. Endermites and Endermen attack each other, which seems a bit strange, because Endermen drop ender pearls, and ender pearls make Endermites, so Endermites are kind of the children of the Endermen. I think they need family therapy. The next mob is deceivingly cute, and it lives here in the End City. I'm talking about the Shulker, something that a lot of people go to the end for because we all like Shulker boxes. These weird little boxes stick to the walls of these buildings, and they open and shut occasionally. They also make strange gargly noises, as if they want to clear their throat. The box is actually just a protective shell. The real Shulker lurks inside. And it's easiest to attack them when the shell is open, because that's when they're most vulnerable. And now I can just steal the treasure and this elytra. And if you're wondering why I'm hovering in mid-air, I'll show you. I've taken some Shulkers to the overworld so you can see better. So, when they see me, they attack me with a bullet. And this bullet makes me levitate. The levitation effect lasts for 10 seconds unless another Shulker bullet hits you before it runs out. As you can see, the bullets don't fly in a straight line. They're like homing missiles. They target you and follow you about. Luckily, you can block them with a shield because they also do damage. But the biggest danger is, of course, fall damage. So, let me show you my secret weapon. It's called Chorus Fruit. Let's pick up all the fruit and keep it handy, because if you eat one of these things, they will teleport you to a safe place nearby. And here is the first Shulker bullet heading my way. Let's see what happens. It hits me and I'm flying in the air. Okay, a few whacks and yeah, no, I'm too far away now. Okay, I'm going up. That's me. I'm floating, and now I'm gonna eat my chorus food, and I'll show you what happens. See, I'm on the ground. Oh no, okay, I'm still floating, but at least it teleported me closer to the ground. Yeah, okay, I'm down, and I have angered an Enderman, and that's not good, and now the Endermen are floating, and I'm floating, and basically this is chaos. But thankfully I floated close to this box, so let's whack it, and you can see there is a Shulker shell. Oh no, the Endermans followed me, so I'm floating again. Actually, I'm probably safer up in the air, but my health is quite low. I'm gonna eat another chorus fruit. And oh no, my Enderman friend is still here. I think this is not gonna end well. So that was chaos. Let me quickly show you what happens if you shoot a closed Shulker box with arrows. They just bounce off. And when you combine 2 hard-won Shulker shells with a chest, you get a Shulker box. Yay, more storage. Now I just need to dye it magenta. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We're going to meet the boss mobs. Technically, according to Minecraft, there are 2 of them, but actually I think there should be 4, because I think the Warden and the Elder Guardian really deserve to be in that category too. But of course, that's just my humble opinion. The first boss mob you immediately think about is the Ender Dragon. You have to defeat it when you first reach the end, and it is the largest mob in Minecraft, but I've left an even scarier mob for last. When you first arrive at the end, the Ender Dragon will patrol the central end island and fly around between these pillars. There are crystals on top of the pillars that recharge its health. You can see the sparkly recharge beams when it flies next to them. And at the top you see the health bar. It is your job to get it completely down to 0. So your first job is to stop it from recharging. Break all the crystals any way you can. You can shoot most of them from the ground with arrows, but some of them have got cages around them and that makes it harder, so I like to pillar up. And I always put some water at the bottom, because while you do this, the dragon will try to attack you. Make sure you're 1 block lower than the pillar and then break the crystal. That way the explosion won't hurt you. From up here you can take some really good shot at the other crystals. But be careful, you're also a very easy target for the dragon. Those ones over there are too far away, so I'm just gonna jump down into the water. And while you're working away, the dragon will try to shoot you with its fiery breath. So standing still for a long time is actually the most dangerous thing you can do. This pink sparkly stuff here is dragon's breath. It hurts you, but you can also collect it in glass bottles and use it for potion making. Once the crystals are gone, you can actually start fighting the dragon. You can shoot it with a bow and arrow, but it's not always successful because it sometimes bats the arrows away with its wings. Once the dragon has taken a certain amount of damage, it needs a little break, so it comes to perch on this central pillar. Once on the pillar, it's immune to arrows, but you can get right in close and whack it. But be careful, the wings can also bat you away and that gives you some damage, so I've put water everywhere. That will cushion my fall if I get hit. And now I'm gonna get right underneath and I'm just gonna tickle her belly. And yes, you heard that right. I called her she, because according to the lore, it's a girl and she's called Jean. And I've done it! I've killed the dragon. It's not really that difficult. I mean, what's 200 health points between friends, right? And now an absolute ton of experience points are raining down on me. In her dying moment, Jean has also laid a dragon egg, and the end portal is now open. If you jump in, it'll take you right back to the overworld. Another smaller portal appears somewhere on the edges of the island. This portal is a shortcut to the end islands, but it's only 1 block high, so it's always useful to take a trapdoor and swim in. Here we go! I've teleported to a remote island. And now I can look for end cities, end ships, and lots of treasure. Let's go! If you want to fight the dragon again, or you want to open more of these little portals to different locations, you can also respawn the dragon. Just put these crystals around the end portal, and then the beams shoot up. They restore all the charging stations on top of the pillars. Here we go, nearly there. Just a few more. And when they're all lit, another dragon is generated. Welcome to the world, Jean number 2. And now it's finally time to meet what I think is Minecraft's most terrifying mob, the Wither. This absolutely insane flying killing machine has a whopping 600 health points in Minecraft on hard mode. And the crazy thing is, you have to make this mob yourself. It doesn't spawn naturally. You have to take 4 soul sand or soul soil like this, then you put on 3 wither skeleton heads, and you get this monster. And once it is finished fully generating, it becomes black and it goes on a total rampage of destruction. It flies about crazily and shoots its wither skulls at anything that doesn't get out of the way fast enough. It's even attacking the fish! And it doesn't just attack players and mobs, it also breaks most blocks. No, not the dog! As some sort of weird consolation prize, you get a wither rose when a mob dies. I would have preferred the dog, but hey ho. The only blocks a wither can't break are portal blocks and bedrock. And obsidian is harder to break. So you can actually make this cheeky wither farm. Put your tea of soul soil flat on the ground and then put the heads on the top. Like that. There you go. And then get the hell out of here. And now the magic happens, because the wither is 3 blocks tall, but this chamber is only 2 blocks tall. And because of the way we placed the blocks when we generated it, its head is now permanently stuck in the bedrock blocks underneath the end portal, which means it's suffocating and it can't do anything about it. Because of its 500 health points, it takes absolutely forever to die. So let's fast forward to the magic moment when the wither will actually die and cause a global sound event. And it was well worth it, because now you have a precious nether star. And with nether stars you can make beacons. And beacons are not just pretty blue shiny lights, they're absolutely amazing because they will make your life so much easier. What is your favorite beacon effect? Speed, haste, resistance, jump boost, or strength? So this was it, all 32 hostile mobs explained in one video. If you enjoyed learning about hostile mobs and you want to find out about neutral mobs and passive mobs, check out my other tutorials. Riding mobs like this, by the way, is only possible with a command, which I've also made a video about because I really like having fun with mobs. So if you like mobs too, why not subscribe to my channel? I hope you had a lot of fun. Have a hippy dippy day. Bye bye.